The film begins in a desert where two men came to capture a special lizard. That is a big lizard. A man captures a big lizard after spreading a net there. The other man notices the danger zone written on the ground. This means that there is a danger there, and human entry is forbidden there. Seeing this, he asks his companion to go from there. He hears a strange sound while he was bringing out the net he spread. As he moves forward to check, he sees a large trench there. He becomes shocked to see what this trench in the middle of the desert might mean. Later, he sees that his companion emerges from the trench suddenly. He was quite terrified and asks for help. Before he could understand anything, a giant creature takes him after pulling him. He becomes afraid to see this and begins to go from there on his bike. The problem was that the bike didn't start. The creature then extends its large hand and holds this man and pulls him toward the trench. Later, we see two singers who were siblings and were singing in a club together. The boy's name was Cow, and after the performance, Cow tells his sister that whatever money we make from singing with all of this effort, our senior keeps more than half share for himself. That's why I've stopped working with him now. While their conversation, the police of drug prevention come. That starts by looking around the club to see if anyone is intoxicated. In the end, the singers accused Cow of being the only one to take the drug. Although Cow convinces them that nothing is like this. I've never used drugs. Police, however, don't trust him, and after thinking a little about this, he begins to suspect his senior with whom he stopped working. Cow has been freed on bail. While they were conversing, Cow's sister received a call from her mother, telling her of her grandfather's death. As soon as they hear this, they head to their village to greet their mother. Cow starts to think about the childhood days that he spent with his grandfather. When his grandpa was teaching him to extract water after digging, to end up the scarcity of water for the villagers. After a while, they reach their home and meet their family. Here, a girl named Fawn comes who is a childhood friend of Cow. She has become a famous YouTuber, and she uploads videos on YouTube. Cow tries to talk to Fawn, but she was angry with him, and was not talking with him properly. Because Cow has returned to his village after 10 years. During this time, he hasn't kept any contact with his friend Fawn. Now, the scene shifts to Cow's and Fawn's childhood. Here we see Fawn's dad was gifting these lizards to Cow's grandpa, because they consider being precious. These lizards were caught by Fawn, but Cow releases them by saying, "We should not cage anyone like this." Fawn likes his words enough that they become friends. Later, we come to the present time where we see both men again. That we see at the start of the film, and they were caught in a cave by the creature. Meanwhile, a creature comes there whose size was giant. And it seemed quite dangerous. In a while, it kills both of these men. Cow begins to watch his friend's YouTube videos. Fawn arranges a competition for the celebration of her 8 million followers. She says if someone extracts water after digging her village ground, he'll win and will be rewarded with a large amount of money. Cow tells his sister about this. She says, "Very well, we should also participate in this competition." He agrees, and later on, they join another boy, Cow's friend too, in their group. Later, they go to the place where Fawn has arranged this competition. There were many people there already who've participated in this competition. All the groups were given a map and a flare gun. They've to use flare guns when they become successful in extracting the water. During this time, a rich man comes there, who has his own business of underground digging. He approaches Fawn, so he could participate in the competition. But he begins to misbehave with her. Later, Cow comes there and stops him. Later, Fawn starts the competition after firing the flare gun. Everyone goes to different places for digging in the ground to find water. Two men discover the bikes of the two men whom we saw at the film's start, who'd been the victims of this creature, and then they take their bike and move on. Later, the creature tears up the ground and runs at the speed of their bike, and begins to chase them, which makes them afraid. They rotate their bike to save their lives. That was a clever creature that makes a big trench on their way. As a result, they fall into that trench. On the other side, Cow and his companions were moving forward to find water. Later, they see a few plates on the ground that were placed upside, on which magical words have been written. Seeing this, Cow's sister asks why these plates have been placed in this way. He says that this is an old traditional way of finding water. If there will be water in the ground, it will be collected in the place, and will dislocate the plate, and during their conversation, another group comes, who is digging nearby, and a man tells Cow's group members. It believes that a giant monster lives here. That is quite dangerous, and in order to escape from it, these plates have been placed here, and the magical words have been written here. Cow doesn't believe his words. Later, they move on, and it becomes evening. Cow finds an old map of his grandpa in the car, on which his grandfather had made a mark near the mountain. When he matches this map with the map that was given by Fawn, he sees that there is no such mark on that map. After seeing this, 3 of them understand that they could get water from this mountain. They decide to go there the next day, and the rest of the people were going from there because of the evening. But 3 people decide to spend the night there. When one of them goes to the other side, the creature comes to him while flying. It separates his head from his body. That falls to his friends, and after seeing it, they become shocked. They become quite afraid and run from there to save their lives. Meanwhile, the giant creature comes in front of them. Later, we learn that this creature is no one else but that big lizard, whose size has become so large, and it makes them its prey after killing both of these men. The next morning, when Fawn learns about the missing news of those 3 men, she becomes concerned and decides to stop this competition. Later, Fawn's manager calls that rich man and tells him 3 people have been missing, so Fawn decides to end up this competition. Hearing this, the rich man becomes very angry. He claims that if the competition ends, I'll be worse. You even know the ending, and the manager becomes afraid to hear this. So, he goes to convince Fawn and says, "Look, this is so bad that we've started the competition, and now we're ending it. This isn't a good thing, so we shouldn't end this competition. If we talk about those 3 missing people, they might have gone back. Maybe someone else has caught him. So, we should start this competition after ignoring this all." Although Fawn doesn't want to do this, she continues her competition on the request of her manager. Cow and his companions come to a place on the map where they find a cave. After going inside it, they find a wet wall. Seeing this, Cow says, "I think there is water behind it. That's why we should break this wall." This place is actually the house of that lizard. It comes there and holds Cow's friend in his mouth. Seeing this, both siblings become afraid. They come out of the cave after saving their life. Later, they begin to tell the others about this creature. But no one believes them. Later, the creature comes while tearing the ground and attacks a man, and holds his half-body from the ground. Later, it takes him after pulling him. After seeing it, they all become shocked, and they begin to trust Cow's words. They begin to run from there to save their lives. Cow's sister and the rich man manage to hide in a truck. But the manager couldn't go inside, and he stays outside. The creature comes there and attacks him, and kills him in a single attack. Now, the creature starts chasing Cow and Fawn. They run to escape from it, and the creature also runs fast. Later, they fall into a trench while running. Seeing this, Cow's sister blows the truck's horn to save her brother's life. When the creature comes there, Cow's sister and the rich man hide under the truck. As a result, the creature comes there but couldn't see them, and goes from there silently. There, Cow and Fawn learn soon that they have fallen nowhere else but into the creature's cave. As they move ahead, they see many of the creature's eggs. They see Cow's friend who wasn't dead but alive. The creature has imprisoned him in a strong cover. They try to take him out from there. However, they were unable to remove him since they failed to break the cover. They see many people who were caged in similar covers. Actually, that creature has kept them to feed his children. On the other side, when Cow's sister comes out from the truck, she sees that creature was sleeping on the truck. She moves ahead silently without any noise and sits in the car of that rich boy. Later, the rich boy comes out of his car and begins to move toward his car. Meanwhile, a sound was produced by him and the creature awakes, and instantly attacks him and takes him to his cave, and locks him in the same cave. Cow and Fawn again reach near the same wall. After checking it, Fawn says that there is water on the opposite side of the water. Because this is a lizard creature, it might not like water. And that creature made this wall to save from the water. Later, they come out of that cave where they see a few people. They approach them, but meanwhile, the creature arrives at a rapid speed. And in a blinking of an eye, the creature makes them its prey and kills them. The creature also sees Fawn and takes her with him. Later, Cow fires that flare gun, and after seeing it, only one group approaches him. It was the same man who told her about the creature and the plates. Later, Cow's sister arrives there after a while. They make a plan, and later begin to play loud songs. After hearing this sound, the creature comes after tearing the ground, and begins to roar at everyone. Seeing this, they begin to surround it, and attack the creature. That creature returns to its cave. Cow's sister goes to that cave with her friends. She brings out all the caged people in the cover with their help. But the rich boy was missed from the cave, and Fawn goes to find him. The rich man has brought a bomb with him. They placed it in the wet wall. Later, while taking his remote, Cow goes into that cave with Fawn. There, Fawn finds the rich boy. But the creature comes in front of them when they were going back. The rich man runs alone to save his life while leaving Fawn. Cow comes there before the creature could attack her. After jumping on the creature, he comes on the creature and attacks it with an axe. The creature remains harmless because it was quite powerful. Later, the creature holds Fawn with its tail and grabs her. The creature was about to kill her. Meanwhile, Cow fires that flare gun and puts it in its mouth. As a result, the creature hallucinates. As the creature's attention diverts, they run. After coming ahead, Cow hits the bomb by pressing the button. As a result, a bomb explodes there, and the wall breaks. As this happens, water begins to spread in the cave. The flow of water was quite fast, and the creature also flows with it and was killed. Water was also coming after Cow and Fawn rapidly, but they come out of the cave at the exact time. Later, Cow's sister and his friend also come. Meanwhile, water begins to emerge rapidly from the ground. Seeing this, they become happy. Later, we see the rich boy comes out of that trench who was still alive. He had the creature's egg in his hand and was laughing after seeing it. Seeing an egg means that the creature has not been eradicated, because its eggs are still present, which means many lizard creatures will be hatched from it. The movie ends with this.